Hi guys, Alex Fortey here with Alistair Davies, and we are going to help you improve your backswing by helping you extend it and pivot better. And it's about using your body how it's meant to be used, but in a result going to improve not only your downswing by helping you avoid coming over the top, but just to kind of get speed and connection and everything like that and get the sequence better. Because if you're sort of out of position or sequence from going backwards, it's just you're having to compensate all the way through, right? So Alistair's got a really neat way to help you with that extension and a couple of little checkpoints you can even use at home that are going to help you. So let's get to it.
Thank you, Alex. Beautifully put. I think I'll live up to that pressure now.
There we go, come on.
So basically,
Fix everyone's golf game now.
thanks. So basically what I want to talk about is how we should pivot correctly, making sure that we extend our back the right way. And it's probably the bit that is missing that people will miss out of.
So what does that mean, extend? Because probably people think that's just the hands.
Okay. In order to explain extension, let's just talk through two other terms as well. So if you imagine in the golf swing, we have what I call forward bend, so it's basically bending forward. Extension would be extending our back upwards, so like arching our back and extending.
Yeah.
And we have what's called side bend. So if we look at this camera here, this would be a side bend. So as we make a backswing, essentially we're doing all three things.
Yeah.
So if you imagine the level of my chest here, or my nipples if you want to be a bit cruder, if I kept my nipples at the same level throughout the whole of my golf swing, you'll see here that I actually lean a long way towards my trail side. And that's creating too much forward bend. Okay. So that's not good either. So in order then to get me into a centered pivot position, I would then have to extend my body to get into that centered pivot position. That stops me forward bending too much. So ideally what we'd want to see is, if you imagine my nipples again here, as I swing back, they're going to go more up in the air to get me into a centered position.
That in, would you like people to feel that in two sort of segments almost? So you're kind of going over and then up?
No, not really. I'd like it to be sort of gradual and continual.
Okay.
When it actually happens, and the amount would be slightly different to different people, I guess, but it's gradual for me. I would say as we turn, there's subtle extension going on all the time. There's subtle side bending. Side bending stops me standing up too much. So if I side bend, my shoulders basically go down. That's my side bend element. And the extension allows me to rotate and turn while staying pretty centered.
One key thing I want to point out here is you're allowing your hips and your backside to sort of move backwards and rotate, because we don't want to be resisting that knee. Like, you're allowing that right leg to straighten to be able to allow that kind of extension up.
Yeah.
Because that's something people still think they need to do, is like resist the lower body, and that's why they can't get too much extension or anything, right? So
100% right.
Yeah.
One of the key modern myths, I'd call it, is to keep the trail leg flexed. So many golfers say, I've got to keep this fixed, and then they can't turn, then they lift and they move all incorrectly. Yeah. And come over the top the ball and all sorts. So yeah, 100%. We want depth with the hip. The right leg's definitely going to work straighter. The amount depends how flexible you are. I'm not very flexible. Short and wide.
Come on, I've seen you do some splits, it's fine.
So I have to straighten my leg perhaps more than a really flexible guy would do to get into this rotation position we want. Okay. Again, we want like 90 roughly degrees of this thoracic spine turning. Yeah. No exact science. If you turn 100, you turn 75, you turn 80, but it's functional. That's absolutely cool. But we want to make sure that you're not forward bending too much. We have the element of the extension and kind of the side bending to keep us in this kind of correct pivot.
Now, terms and conditions to this one is, are people going to have to be wary about reverse pivoting? So like as they're coming backwards that way, that they're extending too much and then coming this way. How do they know that they've gone too far that way?
I think you probably see a change in your knees and your feet a lot. There's no way you can see yourself apart from videoing. But I can tell you from my own experience, if I stand here and really try and side bend and extend this way and actually video it, because I've got the golf club moving and the momentum of the golf club moving away from the ball, I never ever reverse pivot. Now there are people out there that do reverse pivot. Most of the time that happens because of a sway in the lower half. So as I said, you'll see the knees working away from target, you'll see the hips swaying away, and that causes you then to stack up over here. Yeah. So if the knees are what I'd call laterally solid, again, I'm really happy with them, as you said, working front to back, if you like, toe to heel. So they move much more in a straight and flex position. So they move this way, extending and flexing. I don't want to see any lateral movement with the knees or hips. I want to see rotation and torso. And I like to see a centered head. I'm happy with the head moving probably up to about 1 to 2 inches with an iron. But it has to match the player and what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
But any of those two models are absolutely fine for me.
Right. So just clarify a couple of the, like, what are the feels that we want people to try and have as they're doing this? So it's looking to go this way and then lifting up, so we're extending. So where are we feeling that extension? In the stomach, in the hips? Like, is there anywhere that you're feeling it or you want them to feel it specifically?
Yeah, yeah. I feel it in my back more than I do in my stomach, but certainly some golfers will definitely feel it that their rib cage elevates. They might feel it their abs kind of extend, elongate, I was going to say, if that's the right word. But I feel it more so in my lower left side of my back, and my back is tight.
It's not really tense though, is it? Like,
no.
We're not looking for that. And it's just, we're just looking for those triggers that I want people to try and look for, the cues.
I feel when I do it in the practice room with a club like that, I feel an engagement on my lower left side of my back. When I hit a shot doing it, I don't feel it at all. Okay. Because of the movement of the club. Yeah, okay, so at home or whatever, when you're just trying to train that, you're going to feel it a little bit more tension, but when the club's going, you shouldn't feel any tension really. Yeah, purely again on flexibility. There's some guys I would put into some of these positions in a lesson tee, and I'll say, well, how do you feel? What does it feel? And they'll say, well, that feels, fine, easy. If their flexibility is really, really good. Again, the flexibility within your joints isn't huge for any person, but we have to move correctly to allow other things to move. And again, moving that right hip out of the way creates room for the body to move correctly, the right leg. The amount it will move your body's like a cog, so the amount it will move will be different every single person. So don't think you have to be prescriptive and go, I'm going to turn 100 degrees in my body, upper body, thoracic, I'm going to turn 40 degrees in my hips. That gives me my 60-degree differential, and that's why I'm going to be, no. Just like let's make it functionable. So let's try and get what we call a completed and extended backswing that allows you then to get the club traveling the right way on the way down and maximizes your power. Sounds good. All right, well, give that a try, guys. Practice it in front of the mirror, and as you said, you're gonna see what you're doing better if you can stick a camera like front on and just see which way you're moving, and from that you can teach yourself a little bit, and there we go. All right, thanks ever so much. Okay, hopefully those tips really helped you, and hopefully they were simple enough that you can go out and use them right away. Now, if you want to check out more of Alistair's stuff, please go and check out his channel, Alistair Davies Golf, and also his website. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and go to theartofsimplegolf.com/free for a really cool series for every facet of your game. Thanks.